Hi everyone, welcome back to another fact-filled episode of Topical, where we bring you news you can use and reviews twos.
This week we've got an old-school board game getting the proper RPG treatment.
Scandinavian apocalyptic fantasy going sci-fi in a frustratingly vague teaser.
And as usual, a couple Kickstarters and more.
Let the hijinks ensue.
Maybe some shenanigans?
Hey, I'm game if you are.
Originally published by Games Workshop, the classic fantasy roll and stroll board game Talisman has gone through a lot of hands and few changes over the years, but it remains a fan favorite all the same. You select a character, you get lost, you fight some monsters, you loot, and you try to get to the center of the board. There. Now you know how to play Talisman if you didn't already. Heck, there's even a Batman, Kingdom Hearts, and an upcoming Star Wars one.
But now, German publisher Pegasus Press has released a fully fleshed out Rollenspiele, role-playing game called Talisman Adventures Fantasy Role-Playing Game. The book is divided into two sections, the Player's Guide and the Game Master's Guide. In the back of the book, you'll find light and dark fate tokens, which is explained in the game rules, character sheets, 6 pre-gen characters, and more. It also includes a short starting adventure, Death's Messenger, so that you can jump right into the action. Now, the grognard in me is pretty stoked for this, and if you're looking for a new take on a classic, check it out.
Mork Borg! It just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? Well, no. But it is causing a sensation worldwide with its super dark, super heavy, end-of-the-world fantasy role-playing. It's so metal that it tells you to literally burn the book if things get too bad for your party. So what could possibly make this game any more hardcore? The future.
This past Friday on Mork Borg's Facebook page, a very cryptic post was made. With almost no explanation, we've had the possibility of something called Cyborg dropped in front of us, and fans are wildly speculating about what this could mean. When one fan remarked, "I hope this is a thing," Mork Borg's page manager responded, "It is totally a thing." So there's that. But that's where the details end, so safe to say this looks like a dark future take on the familiar tropes in the game, which is cool as hell, in theory. And there's no way we're not going to hear more about this in the near future from every available angle, so keep your fingers crossed that we do hear about it in the near future. The dark near future.
Can we have a bright near future, though? That'd be a sweet change of pace.
Your lips to somebody's ears, Blythe. If you know anything about me as a person, you know that I love me some David Bowie. And one of my formative experiences with the artist, and I'm willing to bet a lot of you would say the same, was Jim Henson's Labyrinth. The rich fantasy world imprinted on me at a young age, and I'm beyond excited that the property has been able to grow and thrive over the years. Now, there's already been a few games based on it, but this upcoming addition to that range, it takes the story and a particular character in a very interesting and fun direction.
Ready Steady Worm takes the fuzzy worms of the Goblin King's realm and puts them in a fast-paced race full of mischief and worm racing. Definitely not what we'd expect when we heard there was a new game based on the franchise coming out, but we're very pleasantly surprised. It's not going to roll out until next year, but publisher Riverhorse Games has been knocking it out of the park with their officially licensed games, so there's no reason to think this one's going to be anything less than awesome.
And now our Kickstarter roundup. This week we have 1-2 punch of superheroic goodness coming your way. The first is the updated version of the dice building game Kapow! Created by the forces behind Hero Realm and Star Realms, this is a slick product that promises a lot of superheroic beat 'em up. There are actually 2 different versions of the game that make up the Kickstarter campaign, and each one can be played separately, or you can mash them together to incorporate 2, 3, or even 4-player games. It's got about 2 weeks to go, has already met their goal, and has some cool stretch goals available. Now, if the holidays weren't coming up, I would totally back this one, but since I can't, maybe you should?
And Then, coming hot out of the Mommycook Games kitchen, we give to you the Heroes of the Cypher system. This is actually one campaign supporting 2 different games from the iconic game designer and his team. The first one, Claim the Skies, is more or less of a standard superhero setting, but it's the second game, First Responders, that makes this one noteworthy. Set more or less in the real world, the players take on the role of real-life heroes such as firefighters and paramedics, and each game session might focus on a different sort of team taking on a specific challenge. Not a type of game that's really represented in such a high-profile way right now. You gotta hand it to the team at Mommycook for continuing their groundbreaking entries to the TTRPG market.
With the winter gift-giving holidays coming up and the world being the way it is, we want to politely and in a friendly way urge you to support your local businesses and smaller online retailers. Now, it's true that Amazon has some great gaming-related Black Friday goodies coming out, but they are not the only game in town. Still, we're linking to a handy guide of some deals you may want to check out below.
Warlord Games, for example, is holding a month-long sale on a huge variety of their unique, well-made miniatures, gaming terrain, and more. Link below if that's your particular style of gaming.
And perhaps one of the best ways to not only spread the love of gaming, but also support your brick-and-mortar shops is to get the gamer in your life a gift card. It's one size fits all, doesn't go bad, and helps to keep the hearth burning in the cold winter months. And if you're in the greater Los Angeles area, we highly recommend Geeky Tees.
Don't forget to check us out on the internet at GWNP_pod and Twitter and Instagram, Games We Never Play on Facebook, and we even have a Patreon. And speaking of supporting small retailers, we have an affiliate program with Dice Envy. Just go to diceenvy.com/GWNP for 10% off checkout.
Also, you should check out our new weekly supervillain/anti-hero Twitch stream, Shades of Gotham. It's every Wednesday night, and you can find it at twitch.tv/games we never play.
I have been Blythe Kala. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch at Blythe Kala 93. You can also find me on Saturdays GMing a new Star Wars game called Star Wars Silence in the Force. That's at twitch.tv/itsprobablyok. Or you can go to YouTube for the VODs at youtube.com/itsproblyokgames. Hope to see you there.
I'm Michael Robert Holmes. You can find me on Instagram at Michael R. Holmes. You can find me on Twitter at MRH_3E. And this has been the antepenultimate episode of Topical.